What if winning the greatest war in history was only the beginning of your suffering? Imagine spending 10 long years battling monsters, witches, angry gods, and impossible temptations, all just to return home. This is the incredible journey of Odysseus, the man whose greatest weapon was not his sword, but his mind. The city of Troy had stood unconquered for 10 years. Thousands of warriors had fought, but its mighty walls never fell. Then one man changed history. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, devised a brilliant plan, the famous wooden horse. Greek soldiers hid inside the enormous horse while the rest of the army pretended to sail away. Believing they had won, the Trojans brought the horse into their city as a victory gift. That night, the hidden soldiers emerged, opened the city gates, and Troy fell. The war was finally over. Odysseus believed his journey home would take only a few weeks. He could not have been more wrong. As Odysseus sailed home, he and his men landed on a strange island inhabited by one-eyed giants known as the Cyclopes. Inside a cave, they met the terrifying Cyclops, Polyphemus. The giant trapped them and began eating Odysseus' companions one by one. Knowing brute strength could not defeat the monster, Odysseus relied on intelligence. He offered Polyphemus strong wine until the giant fell asleep. Then the Greeks sharpened a wooden stake and blinded his single eye. To escape, they hid beneath the giant's sheep as they left the cave. But as Odysseus sailed away, pride overcame wisdom. He shouted his real name to the defeated Cyclops. Polyphemus cried out to his father, Poseidon, the mighty god of the sea. From that moment onward, Poseidon vowed that Odysseus would never reach home easily. The storms drove the exhausted sailors to the island of Circe, a powerful sorceress. She welcomed the men with food and drink. But it was a trap. With a wave of her magic, she transformed them into pigs. Only Odysseus remained unharmed after receiving divine protection from the messenger god Hermes. He confronted Circe, who admired his courage and restored his companions to human form. The heroes remained on her island for a year before continuing their journey. Before they left, Circe warned them that far greater dangers awaited. Following Circe's advice, Odysseus traveled to the underworld. There he met the spirit of the prophet Tiresias, who revealed that reaching Ithaca would require patience, sacrifice, and absolute self-control. Odysseus also encountered the spirits of fallen heroes from the Trojan War and even his own mother, who had died while waiting for him. Leaving the land of the dead, he understood that courage alone would not bring him home. Wisdom would. Next came the deadly Sirens. Their voices were so beautiful that sailors willingly steered their ships toward the rocks, where they perished. Odysseus wanted to hear their legendary song without dying. He ordered his crew to seal their ears with beeswax and tie him tightly to the ship's mast. As the sirens sang, Odysseus begged to be released. His crew ignored every desperate plea. Only after the island disappeared behind them did they untie their captain. His plan had worked. Soon the ship approached a narrow passage guarded by two terrifying creatures. On one side waited Scylla, a six-headed sea monster. On the other lurked Charybdis, a monstrous whirlpool capable of swallowing entire ships. Avoiding one meant risking the other. Odysseus chose the lesser evil. Scylla snatched 6 of his finest warriors. Heartbroken, he sailed on, knowing the rest had survived. The prophet Tiresias had given one clear warning: never harm the sacred cattle of Helios, the sun god. For many days the sailors obeyed, but hunger eventually overcame them. While Odysseus slept, his men slaughtered the sacred cattle. Helios demanded justice. Zeus answered with a thunderbolt that destroyed their ship. Every sailor died. Only Odysseus survived. After drifting alone across the sea, Odysseus reached the beautiful island of the nymph Calypso. She cared for him and even offered him immortality if he stayed with her forever. Many would have accepted. Odysseus refused. His heart belonged to his wife Penelope and his homeland Ithaca. After 7 long years, the gods ordered Calypso to release him. Once again, Odysseus sailed toward home. 20 years had passed since Odysseus left Ithaca. His son Telemachus had become a man. His faithful wife Penelope was surrounded by arrogant suitors who believed Odysseus was dead. Disguised as a poor beggar, Odysseus secretly entered his own palace. Only a few loyal servants recognized him. Penelope announced a contest. Whoever could string Odysseus' mighty bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads would become her husband. None succeeded. The beggar stepped forward. He effortlessly strung the bow. Then he revealed his true identity. With the help of Telemachus and his loyal allies, Odysseus defeated every suitor and reclaimed his kingdom. At last, the long journey was over. Odysseus' voyage is more than an adventure filled with monsters and magic. It is a story about intelligence, endurance, loyalty, and the strength to keep moving forward despite overwhelming hardship. Unlike many heroes remembered for their strength, Odysseus is celebrated for his wisdom. His greatest victories came not from force, but from clever thinking, patience, and resilience. After 20 years of war, storms, loss, and endless trials, he finally returned home. Not because he was the strongest man alive, but because he never gave up. And perhaps that is why, after nearly 3,000 years, the legend of Odysseus continues to inspire people around the world.